A massive apartment building destroyed.
It's burning right through those units. I've never seen anything like this.
Fire crews still fighting back the flames nearly 24 hours later. The measures fire crews are having to go to finally put those flames out.
And a major obstacle fire crews faced when fighting those flames.
And I'll be live in Sky 5 to bring you a bird's eye view of the damage.
An investigative audit of the state health department just released.
What it says about how your tax dollars were used during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KOCO 5 News at 5.
Oklahoma City fire crews hitting now almost 24 hours straight of fighting a massive fire. Sky 5 flying live for you tonight over that large Nichols Hills apartment building destroyed by flames. And tonight the cleanup job begins.
We want to welcome you in here tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm Evan Onstock.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Shambach. We want to start with team coverage this evening, both in the air and on the ground, of the response to that fire. And we'll begin with Sky 5 pilot Chase Rutledge. Chase, you were up over those flames last night, back again today. How are things looking right now?
Well, I can tell you, as far as flames and fire and smoke goes, it's looking a whole lot better. And as we take a look at this building, just moments ago, this whole northwest corner of this apartment complex collapsed. And you can see the firefighters are working to try to get through the rubble to try to get some of those hot spots. That's kind of the plan going forward. But we talked to Benny earlier, and he gave us a lot of information on this fire and what their plan is and their strategy. And hopefully we'll be able to show some of that a little bit later. But you can see a lot of this building is collapsing. This is going to be a total loss. And but they're going to continue to fight this until they get all the hot spots put out. Back to you guys.
All right, Chase, thank you. And yeah, looking at this live picture, you see it's still smoldering. Sky 5 is going to stay up throughout our evening newscast tonight to show you more of this scene. Let's go to the ground now with KOCO Shelby Montgomery.
Shelby, fire crews still working to put out that fire, and I know that you've learned that they already called in a wrecking company to demolish parts of the building.
They did. The Midwest Wrecking Company arrived here about 2 hours ago and has started demolition on this portion of the building right over here. Crews have been fighting this fire for hours and they're still not done. Several pieces of the building have fallen off and the wrecking crew is out here removing some of that debris. So fire crews have better access to the building. That's also why they're demolishing part of it. This is to access some of those hot spots that they're not able to get to. Once demolished, those hot spots will be exposed and fire can put them out.
We have been in contact and obviously close collaboration with the development staff here of this building and this complex. And what they've decided to do is bring in a demolition company locally, and they're going to now start systematically taking down portions of this building.
Once those hot spots are put out, crews will be able to completely stop the spread of the fire, which has now made its way almost throughout the entire building. Live in Oklahoma City, Shelby Montgomery, KOCO 5 News. Back to you.
Okay, Shelby, and KOCO's team coverage continuing now with Andy Weber. He talked to fire crews who say their job was made even more difficult by non-functioning fire suppression systems.
And he joins us live right now with what kind of challenges they faced last night. Andy?
That's right, guys. OKC Fire tells KOCO 5 that the building's standpipes were not functioning. This is a standpipe right here. It's used to bring water in from a fire truck or a fire engine into a large building to a different floor or just a different part of the building, and it's used to help fight active fires. And experts say even during construction, these things should work.
An event like this, a fire event like this, should never happen. We have the technology and the knowledge of today.
Fire protection engineers Jack Poole and Brandon Wilkerson agreed a building of this size is required to have a range of fire suppression systems to be considered safe and livable.
For a building like this, I would say typically the building is sprinklered, and if it exceeds usually about 3 stories in height, you end up with a standpipe system in the stair enclosures for manual firefighter use.
The complex had a standpipe system, however, it was not functioning. The fire department says they were forced to construct an impromptu standpipe, running hose up the building's stairwells.
Is there a certain timeline when standpipes should be active?
As soon as construction is conceivable enough to install it.
OKC Fire says having such a tool could have saved them a lot of time extremely valuable when fighting any fire. Why those standpipes were not functioning will be part of the investigation into how the fire began.